Greetings, dear candidates. Welcome to Quick English Lectures. Today's topic is adjectives. What are adjectives? What are the different kinds of adjectives and how to use them?
If you are struggling with spoken English, then register for our next English speaking course which starts on the 11th of every month. Call us to register now. Make sure that you don't miss any of our free classes and exclusive new videos on SSB Show Short Plus. Subscribe now and hit the notification bell. Follow us on Instagram for more informative and motivational content, offers and updates related to the armed forces. Visit our website for numerous online courses and study material. Call us on 6364052525 to inquire and register. Now let's get back to the video.
Adjectives are words that describe a noun or a pronoun. It explains about particular features and attributes of the noun or a pronoun, thus enhancing it. For example, when we see a flower, we say, "That's a beautiful flower." Or when we're at a restaurant, we say, "The food looks delicious." Words like beautiful and delicious, it enhances the attributes of their respective nouns, thus their adjectives. Let's do a quick exercise here. I will give you a few words and I want you to attach the adjective of your choice to the word. For example, if the word is boy, your answer can be a good boy, a tall boy, a mean boy, etc. Our first word is dog. Let's take a very simple sentence. A good dog. The adjective that I attached here is good. And this sentence, it answers the question, what kind of dog? A good dog. For this, let's consider the sentence, Sita is her friend. Very simple. Which is the adjective here? Her is the adjective. And it answers the question, whose? Whose friend? Sita is her friend. Please note here that even though basically the word her is a pronoun, in this case it can also be used as an adjective. For our third word, let's consider the sentence, I watched a match yesterday morning. Which is the adjective here? It's yesterday. And it answers the question, when? When did I see the match? I watched a match yesterday morning. Even in this case, even though basically yesterday is a noun, it's being used as an adjective. Our fourth word is chocolates, and let's consider the sentence, the child has 5 chocolates, or the child has many chocolates. Words like 5 or many are the adjectives here, and they answer the question, how many? For this, let's consider the sentence, the film is funny. Funny is naturally the adjective because it describes the noun which is film. But please note that in this case, unlike the other 4 cases that we dealt with, the adjective comes after the noun and it is linked through a linking verb. In this case, the linking verb is. Few other examples for linking words are: the flower looks pretty, the climate is nice, ice feels cold to the touch. With the help of the exercise that we just did, we have learned 3 main things. Adjectives are those words that answers the question whose, when, what kind, and how many. The adjective can be placed before or after a noun. If it comes after a noun, it is always connected with a link verb. Even a word which is basically a noun or an adverb can be used as an adjective in few cases. I cannot emphasize this enough that adjectives are used to describe only nouns and pronouns and not action words or verbs. Action words or verbs like eating, sleeping, running, etc. are described by adverbs and they're a whole different topic. Now let's talk about how many adjectives can be used to define a noun in a sentence. The most common case is that we use only one adjective at a time to define a noun. Although there are cases where we can use 2 or 3 adjectives at the same time to define a noun. It is advised though to not use more than 2 or 3 adjectives at the same time as it can lower the quality of your sentence. In case we use multiple adjectives, the following order should be followed while placing the adjectives. It goes like the opinion verb, the size of the object, the shape, age, color, nationality, and its material. For example, if we have to define the word ball using the 3 adjectives blue, new, and plastic, the correct order would be new, blue, plastic ball. Now, keeping the order in mind, let's answer a few questions. In the first question, define the noun room using the adjectives large, dark, and circular. The correct answer would be a large, circular, dark room. Now let's try to define the noun table using the adjectives wonderful, old, and bamboo. And the correct answer would be a wonderful old bamboo table. Now let's define the noun singer using the adjectives famous, Egyptian, and young. The correct sentence would be a famous young Egyptian singer. Let's now move on to the degrees of adjectives. Excluding our usual degree, we have 2 more degrees, namely comparative and superlative. Just like the name suggests, comparative adjectives are used to compare 2 different nouns. They are obtained by either adding the prefix er behind the adjective or adding the word more in front of the adjective. Some examples are happier, bigger, older, colder, more expensive, more dangerous, more interesting. Let's look at a few examples. The sentence, I am happier now, compares the feeling of the individual now to the time before, thus happier being a comparative adjective. Let's take another sentence. Consider the sentence, Tamil Nadu is bigger than Kerala. Here the adjective bigger is in its comparative sense, and it compares the size of the two states, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. On the flip side, superlative adjectives are in the highest degree. They are obtained by either adding the prefix est behind the adjective or adding the word most in front of the adjective. A few examples are happiest, biggest, oldest, coldest, most expensive, most dangerous, and most interesting. Now it's time for a quick exercise. I will provide you with few sentences and I want you to fill in the blanks with the correct form of the provided adjectives. Let's look at the answers now. In the first question, if you said, he looks more handsome than his brother, you're right. The reason is because in this sentence, the subject he is being compared with his brother. Thus, the adjective, which is handsome, would be in its comparative degree, which is more handsome. In the second question, if you said, the room looks cleaner than before, you're right. The reason is because in this case, the room is being compared in two different points of time. In the last question, as we all guessed, the correct answer is Kanyakumari is the lowest point in the Indian subcontinent. In the next exercise, I want you to spot the errors, if any, in the sentences. The first sentence says, Rishi is smart than any other student. Notice that there is a comparison taking place between Rishi and other students. Thus, the correct answer would be, Rishi is smarter than any other student. The next sentence states that Delhi is bad than Mumbai in terms of pollution. Again, there's a comparison taking place between Delhi and Mumbai, stating that the adjective should be in its comparative degree. The adjective being bad, the comparative degree would be worse. Thus, the correct answer is Delhi is worse than Mumbai in terms of pollution. In our third question, which is Sindhya is more better than her sisters in studies, we see that the word is in its comparative degree alright, but there is an extra more added before better. This is a necessary. In our last question, which is America is the richer country in the world, is there any comparison taking place? No, right? And in front of the adjective, we see that there is a the, which states that it should be in its superlative degree. Thus, the correct answer would be America is the richest country in the world. That's all, dear candidates, for today's video. I really hope that you could learn something from today's video. If you have any doubts or queries, please do comment them in the comment section and we'll get back to you. Thank you and have a nice day.
If you are struggling with spoken English, then register for our next English speaking course which starts on the 11th of every month. Call us to register now.